Hello ghouls and ghosties, and welcome to Haunt Hunt number 5. I do not have like an official in the car good solid intro for you guys, because if you watched till the end of last Haunt Hunt, you'll kind of know what's going on. I am just starting off this week of haunt hunting kind of at just like a random point. I had to end the last Haunt Hunt video at a really random point so that I could save this footage for this Haunt Hunt, and that's why I don't have like a really good intro. But today we got a really good haunt hunt coming at you guys. In this video, am going to all kinds, okay, my rocking might be like throwing some people off. I'm going to be going to all kinds of different stores that I have not checked out in any haunt hunts yet this year. That being Ikea, Macy's Backstage, Nordstrom Rack. There's like a bunch more. I honestly don't remember because there were so many different places we went. So I have all kinds of new places for you guys, and I'm very excited for you guys to see. Ikea especially is a really standout place that I was not expecting. So those are coming up in this video, and I will do a little outro at the end for you guys as well. But in the next week's video, there's going to be another haunt hunt, and I am going to be going on vacation, kind of like last year, where I drive up to northern Minnesota, and I'm going to be stopping. Plane. I don't even live by an airport. I'm going to be stopping at all kinds of new HomeGoods, Marshalls, TJ Maxx, and stuff on the way up to the cabin. So I'm really excited for that. And that's going to kind of be almost its own standalone haunt hunt. All kinds of new locations we have not been to. That's next week, and then the week after is going to be a Halloween number 2 of the year. So enough babbling. Let's get into some haunt hunting. Hello, ghouls and ghosties, and welcome to August. Okay, I'm gonna wait to speak so my blinker can shut off. This was poor timing to start filming. All right, so yes, welcome to August. It is August 1st today, which I don't know if I'm the only person or if you guys feel the same way, but I am like shook that it's August already. Like, it doesn't even feel right to say that. I don't really attribute August to summer. Like, in my mind, August is more of a like changing / almost fall month to me, which is crazy. I know August doesn't have like fall weather or anything. There's no changing leaves, but I just don't think of August with summer. But that's just me. Anyways, also, another thing that blows my mind is that means that we are 1 month from decorating for Halloween. I decorate September 1st. I would love to decorate in August, but I don't know, I never have. I'm not saying I never would, but I never have. I always do September 1st. And so far, like, that's what I'm at least planning this year, and that's crazy. That's crazy. We're like 1 month from decorating, which is wild. But anyways, that's not what we're here to talk about. So today, to celebrate the 1st of August, we are actually going to be doing a lot of haunt hunting, including a lot of new locations that we have not been to yet. So we're starting off the day with some locations we've definitely been to a couple times, and that is my local HomeGoods and my local Marshalls, the ones that are like right on the block from me. I'm only going to show you guys in there if there is some new stuff. Otherwise, I'm not going to film anything just because, like, what's the point? I'm also going to Target because I need to start off my day with some errands. My dog needs some food. Mike is hungry. And also, I just have some random stuff to get. I need some coffee creamer and stuff. So I'm going to be going to Target, and I can show you guys if there's anything in Target. I'm sure there's not, but I know that there's a few pumpkin spice foods trickling out. So I could show you guys the stuff that I see in my Target. But again, off topic. So the fun, new, exciting places we're going to today is we're actually going to go to the Mall of America because I want to go, first off, to this place called Macy's Backstage. So Macy's in my area, I know Macy's not everywhere, even though they are in a lot of places. You definitely could have Macy's, but if you don't have them, Macy's is like a department store. It's like Dillard's if you had Dillard's. It's like Herberger's if you had Herberger's. It's like Von Maur if you have Von Maur. It's like lower end, like Nordstrom or Harrods or that type of thing. It's like a clothing store, but they do have home. They have like kitchen and all that stuff. They have this place called Backstage. There are not many of them, and Mall of America does have one, and it's pretty big. And it's basically like Macy's to Backstage is Nordstrom to Nordstrom Rack. It's kind of their discount store. And they apparently have freaking Joanna Parker. So I've heard through a Facebook post. I've seen one person post it, but again, that's probably because there's not many Backstages. So I want to go see if they have Joanna Parker, because in this post, they showed some really cute pieces. It was good prices. So I need to go look at that. Also, there's a Marshall's in the mall that we'll go to. Plus, well, there's a Bath & Body Works that I'm going to go to also. And a Nordstrom Rack. Plus, there's an Ikea across the parking lot. And this is Ikea's first year ever having Halloween stuff. I haven't looked at it too much to see what kind of like stuff there is, but they have Halloween stuff this year, and that's wild. Like, Ikea has never done that. They're like Norwegian, I think, right? Maybe, or I don't know. They're from somewhere, but it's like a country that does not really celebrate Halloween, so they just don't do Halloween, but they are this year. And I want to check and see if they have it. I'm actually really, really excited to see if they do. Then we also are going to dinner in a city where we went to dinner here on Tuesdays sometimes, and we always end up going to like the TJs, the Marshalls, and the HomeGoods there. We might do that. So we got a lot of haunt hunting ahead of us. Let's head in. As you can see, Marshalls out my window right here. Let's head into Target, Marshalls, and HomeGoods. Again, I'll show you whatever I see that I feel like is worth showing, and then we will move on with our day to these new exciting places. I almost feel like I'm forgetting somewhere else in Mall of America, but we will see when we get there. There's Hot Topic, there's Spencer's. Maybe they'll have some Spirit Halloween signage. I don't know, but I'm excited, so I hope you guys are too. Let's begin. Upon entering the HomeGoods, I noticed that they had the return of the Anna Lee Halloween pieces mixed in with some Thanksgiving pieces. At least they didn't have the giraffe this year. They also had these kind of folk-looking candy dishes on top. This was a new item. It was a really cool candle holder that had skulls all over it. I really like this. I wasn't a huge fan that it was so glossy, but otherwise it was very cool. This candle holder, on the other hand, was really cool. I loved the weightiness of it, and I really liked the detailed, intricate skulls at the top. There also was a pile of skulls at the bottom of it. I'm not sure if you can see it very well, but the whole bottom was a pile of skulls. This mummy seemed new to me, but he felt very, very cheap, unfortunately. This was $15, which I thought was honestly a pretty good price, whereas the mummy was priced at $13, which seemed pretty steep to me. This was a new wine glass I don't think I had seen. It has a skull at the front that is made of the same metal as the skeleton hands. These also seemed like some new wine glasses I hadn't seen before. They were some bedazzled skulls, though one was already missing a stone. This was a new spiderweb bowl that I hadn't seen. It was very heavy and made of full iron. I loved the slightly folk look to this mug. It was a really cute black cat with a jack-o'-lantern on top. I considered getting it, but I already have bought a lot of mugs this year. I think last year we saw this skeleton tray. I do still really like it though. These were actually two different sizes. Over in Marshall's, they had started to put out some of the spooky pajama pants. This was my favorite pattern. They also had this really cute triplet of pumpkin head skeletons. I really liked this artwork. It was so cute. They had this giant cauldron. I don't think my video does it justice, but if you know the size of some of these pillows, you can tell how huge this freaking cauldron was. And these were some new pillows with raccoons. Alright, ghouls and ghosties, so Ryan and I just got to the Mall of America. Like I said, there are a handful of places in here that I would like to check out, including Macy's Backstage, which I explained earlier. Marshall's is in here. Bath & Body's in here. There's like Hot Topic, and then what's that place? Box Lunch. I don't really know where we're going, but then after the mall is when we're gonna hit up Ikea. I don't know if their stuff is out yet, but I just, like I said, I know this year they are having stuff. So we'll just like run in and out, but We're gonna go in. We're parked way in the back, so we're gonna
run in.
Move in. Maybe there'll be a Spirit Halloween sign.
I'm trying to think of something that like would have gone out of business for Spirit to like.
There's got to be something.
There has to be something.
Spirit opened 2 days ago.
Yes, they did.
The grand opening, like the main one.
No, wasn't it yesterday?
The main one.
We filmed this on August 1st. I thought it was the end of July.
I don't know. It was within the past couple days, but I don't know when the main ones do. Probably like mid-August, late August. But let's go find out. In the Mall of America, the Macy's backstage is actually in the normal Macy's store. It is just on the top level, just kind of in the back. They had a couple Halloween pieces, but they definitely were not my style. They were pretty boring, honestly. It gave me very Valmar vibes with the Halloween stuff. Then at Nordstrom Rack, they did have a couple mugs that were cute. I really like this one, and I feel like at HomeGoods and stuff, you don't see these taller mugs very often. They had some little decor pieces, some of the little ceramic trees, some planter holders, and some witch and freaking gnome plushies, of course. More snakes, of course. They also had some oven mitts. I kind of like the bat hanging one, and then they had some kitchen towels, which I didn't really like any of too much. This was a spoon rest. I really like the matte black to it. This was a super freaking soft blanket. It felt like the brand Barefoot Dreams or the Cupcakes and Cashmere blankets from HomeGoods. So soft. Then we went to Anthropologie because I've actually heard that they have their fall/Halloween stuff out already. Unfortunately, they did not, but they did have their classic pumpkin candles. They did smell so good. They had a number of different patterns. I don't think I've ever seen them in these pumpkin shapes before. They had some fall-esque items like this owl spoon rest and this pumpkin apron. And then they also had some pumpkin mugs, but they didn't have any of the Halloween. I've seen a couple glasses with ghosts and maybe jack-o'-lanterns on them. Then we went on to Bath & Body Works. I believe the Mall of America actually has 2 of them. I meant to check both, but forgot. I saw the giant candle-holding castle, and though it is really cool, very sturdy, and very impressive in person, I would still never pay that retail price for it. We went to Hot Topic because that was right next door, and I was pleasantly surprised with all of the really cool Halloween stuff they already had out. This cardigan was freaking adorable. Look at those buttons. This bag was really cool too. I loved it. It looks like the Moschino jack-o'-lantern bag. This candy corn color sweater was so adorable, super oversized and soft, and these bears were so cute. They had a lot of apparel, of course, that was Halloween related, like this rib cage with a jack-o'-lantern coming out of it. I loved that. And a Frankenstein sketch shirt, along with these really cool joggers. They didn't have my size, unfortunately. They had a Corpse Bride section that was really cool. I really like the Hot Topic Disney movie pieces. They had a Scream section. Scream is one of my favorite horror movies. They had a Haunted Mansion section too that was really cool. Ryan's a huge Haunted Mansion fan, so he really loved this section. Lots more Disney pieces as well, which of course Ryan was a huge fan of. I'm not so into Disney, so I didn't really care that much, but I did love that t-shirt at the bottom. They had some Halloween cosmetic cases that were really cool. And then in Box Lunch, they had, of course, a bunch more Disney pieces. I think Box Lunch has cooler pieces, to be honest. Apparently the Marshalls in Mall of America had closed. Nobody told me this. Hello, ghouls and ghosties. No, this is not an Ikea, which is probably really confusing, but let me explain for a second. So yesterday when we were at the Mall of America, first off, it was kind of a bummer. I feel like we had a huge strikeout, which is really sad because I was looking forward to this big, like, August 1st, all kinds of new things and new places. Haha, Marshall's was closed, Macy's had freaking nothing. Fun. Anyways, we were gonna go to Ikea after, but we had actually pre-purchased tickets to go see the new Haunted Mansion movie, which I loved. It was freaking fantastic. It was much better than I expected, honestly. It had a really good story. All the characters were really good. It was also really, really funny. So do go see Haunted Mansion if you're considering it. But we had pre-purchased tickets for like 6:30, and we still had to get dinner. We hadn't even eaten a lunch, so we needed to get dinner. And it was like 4 at the mall or 4:30. I think it was 4:30 when we had finished up at the mall and we're gonna go to Ikea. But obviously, like, we had to fit dinner into a 2-hour window and driving, because the mall's a good like 20 plus minutes away from my house and from the movie theater. So we just didn't have time. Anyways, today I'm gonna go to Ikea. I'm also going to go to a Marshall's that I'm at right now. I'm also going to go to another TJ's and another HomeGoods that is kind of slightly over by Ikea. So today will be the day that makes up for yesterday's flop era, and I'm pretty pumped. I'm in a definite spooky shirt. It literally, I think it says feeling spooky. It says feeling spooky. It's got the classic Halloween characters. I love this shirt. It's from Hot Topic last year. Every year I feel like I do like a Hot Topic spooky t-shirt order, and I actually already did mine this year. And I don't know if I've worn any for you guys yet, but I'll have to tell you when I do wear those. But today is like 93 degrees. I went to the gym. This is just a little personal tidbit that made me like mentally just crack, basically. I went to the gym. I have an electric car, so I park at the charging stations. That's like a 10-minute walk from my gym, but I still was dumb enough to do it instead of just like suck it up and use some gas. And so I walked in, did my gym workout, and left. And when I was about to get to my car in the like 10-minute walk between the charger and the gym, I realized I left my keys in the gym and I had to go back. And it's 93 degrees and I had just worked out. So I'm on the verge of heat stroke. But anyways, let's go into some air-conditioned buildings and let's shop some Halloween. There's also a Dollar Tree next door here, so I might go to that too. But my car's actually off, so I'm reheating up now. Let's go in before I melt. Like I just said in the car, this Marshall's is right by a Dollar Tree, and this is one with the $1, $3, and $5 section, so I might check after. But in Marshall's, I spotted these large fleece blankets. This must be a new thing this year because I've never seen these before. They come in full size, queen size. I didn't see any king, but it's possible that they exist. I just thought this was interesting and kind of a cool new idea. They also had a bunch of sheets at this Marshall's. Most of them were twin or twin XL. They actually all might have been, so no queen and no king. They had the yodeling ghosty plushie or whatever he's doing, and then they had a bunch of pillows, of course. This was my favorite one by far, this haunted house neighborhood. We know that that's kind of my thing this year. It was kind of pricey though, so I don't know. They had a whole new section of Halloween, as in they had a whole new display for it. A lot of this stuff had been here, but it was kind of scattered throughout, but now they had this entire section in the back, and there was quite a lot. Many ghosts, many glasses, some candle stands like this one that looks a lot like the one that Michael's has this year, some candlesticks that were being held by a skeleton hand and a snake, of course. Some picture frames, some candles. They had a lot of cat pieces, and they also had these wine stoppers that I thought were pretty overpriced. They were like $7. They had some of the glasses with snakes wrapping around them, along with some of these skull whiskey glasses as well. They had this dang ghoul mug. In the thermos and drinkware section, they had a lot of pieces, like these little spooky insulated thermoses for your lunch, and these really cool skull tumblers, which I think I actually saw this pattern last year. They had this ghost one as well. I think I might have seen this last year too. And though this last tumbler was turned around, I could recognize it from last year. This was the Jack-o'-lantern classic face tumbler. And one more ghost one. They had this ghost tumbler that I actually own and purchased last year, and then this was a new one I hadn't seen last year, this skeleton hand tumbler. Some yoga skeletons too. This hair clip set I remember last year was so hard to find, but they had a bunch of them here today. They also had some spooky fuzzy socks. I really only buy the Target socks. This was a placemat set that I kind of liked, but the texture was a bit odd. And then in the back they had some kitchen towels, of course, Home Sweet Haunted Home, and a more celestial moon one, along with a really cool owl motif. They had this bubbling diffuser cauldron that I actually purchased and had to return because it's very misleading on the box. So we moved on to the Dollar Tree then. Like I said, this one does have the $3 and $5 sections as well. In the $1.25 section, they had quite a lot of stickers, art pieces, wreath pieces. They had these candle holders. They had some ornaments, some wreath hangers, and some more wreath pieces. This was probably my favorite piece in the $1.25 section, the crystal ball reading sign. This ghost stack looks a lot like one that HomeGoods carries, but it is plastic and much tinier. I also really liked this vampire mask. It looked very retro. In the section of $3 and $5 pieces, they had some nicer pieces for sure. There were inflatables, there were some larger light sets, there were some lanterns, some trays. Dollar Tree also had some candles that kind of reminded me of the at-home candles and some doormats. They had some metal outdoor signs and some light-up jack-o'-lanterns and skulls. They also had some candle stands and some blankets, not nearly as cute as the ones at HomeGoods, though this pattern looked really familiar. They had some signs and some other candles. Alright, so the traumatic experience of driving to Ikea is over, and I'm at Ikea now. So let's go in. I'm really hoping that there's some spooky stuff in here, because it's so out of the way from where I just was, and it's like on the most dangerous road, in my opinion, in Minnesota. Okay, but we're here. We made it. So let's go in, and then after, in case I don't do a clip in between, we're gonna go to a neighboring city that has a HomeGoods Marshalls combination and a standalone TJ Maxx. So I'm excited for those at least. Entering Ikea, you go up an elevator, and right away at the top of the elevator, I saw some Halloween stuff out. It was literally like seeing a light at the end of the tunnel. Literally, because they were also candles that could hold little candle lights. Hee hee. Anyways, they also had some ghost-shaped candles and these glass pumpkins that seemed very nice and very well made. Plus, look at those prices. I feel like these were all priced very well. On the wall, they had a couple pieces too, like this light-up spooky tree and this spider tea light candle holder. These looked a lot like the Pottery Barn metal pumpkins, and there were some LED lights too. They had an entire setup in one of their room displays with all these cobwebs all over and some of the Halloween pieces. They also had even used orange napkins and black tableware. So cute. There was a ghost candle hidden in here too, and I really liked this Halloween art hanging from the wall. I'm pretty sure this was just a regular chair, but my spooky mind was like, look at that ghost chair. They had some Halloween blankets too, which totally caught me off guard. I do not remember seeing these online when I looked. $20 also seems like a decently fair price for how nice they were. They had an entire display later on in the walkthrough of Ikea as well that had some pillows, like the dancing skeletons and a boo pillow. They had a ghost fuzzy pillow as well. They had those jack-o'-lantern doormats that I just showed a second ago, along with these doormats that just said boo. They even had spooky Ikea bags, and I use Ikea bags all the time for my small business, so I was freaking excited. This was a really cool spooky wreath. And they had some little jack-o'-lantern light bulbs. They were so cute. Good for a kid's room, I'd say. They had another display of Halloween stuff. This was my favorite one by far. They went all out with the Halloween stuff, including some paper jack-o'-lantern hangers and paper jack-o'-lantern lights. They had a bunch of the pillows, a bunch of the glass pieces, and they even had the wreath lit up. So I maybe did some damage that I wasn't expecting, okay? Now on to the HomeGoods, and I haven't been to this HomeGoods in a while, so I grabbed a cart as soon as I entered the building because I was expecting to do some damage. Right in the front, of course, they had all of the Halloween pieces out, a lot of witches and a lot of skulls. There's nothing like walking into a HomeGoods and just being slapped in the face with Halloween everywhere. These were some new pieces I didn't think I'd seen before. I love checking out the kitchen section. That is definitely my favorite. My kitchen is something I definitely keep spooky all year round. Let's not mention that there was a gnome. This tricks and treats canister was so cute and will make a great dog treat container. They had some new baking bowls. And some new bathroom pieces as well that I hadn't seen at my local HomeGoods, like this skeleton printed bathroom towel. And this was a really cool Hocus Pocus soap dispenser. I love the art style of Thackeray Binks on this. Before leaving, I decided to check the candle section, and this was a new spooky candle I hadn't seen. It actually had moons embroidered on the top, which I thought was really cool. Moving on to the TJ Maxx, right down the street, right away. Once again, when we walked in, there was Halloween slapping you in the face. I will take it. There were some new pieces here, including some, oh my gosh, Ray Dunn. I thought we had lost her. I thought she was extinct, but look at this. Lots of kitchen towels, most of them being ones I do think we've seen before. They had a bunch of really cute, spooky jewelry. I loved these. I have zero piercings, so it doesn't really apply to me, and I don't think I'd wear these Betsy Johnson necklaces, but I appreciated them. I of course had to hurry my way over to the mugs as well. Marshalls and TJ's get much better mug selections than HomeGoods do, so as soon as I go to one, I gotta get over there. And sure enough, they had tons of mugs that I have not seen before. They also had some plastic cups, which I think would be great for kids. They had a set of plates that were by Frank N. Stein. I think we had seen the mugs that matched these earlier in a HomeGoods, but I definitely hadn't seen the plates yet. They also had this little ghost in a wine glass. They were really, really cute. I love this concept. They had the same thermoses that we saw at the Marshalls earlier in the week with one new one. They also had some mats, some outdoor lights, and some other miscellaneous home decor, including the Headless Horseman, and apparently this one lights up. He has been much easier to find this year, I feel like, which is quite interesting. They obviously are paying attention to what we like. People have said that the new ones are a little cheaper feeling than the old ones. I would say it was a little bit lighter, but not that bad. more pieces that I do feel like we've probably seen before, and more pillows I know we've seen at Marshall's. A bunch more mugs. So they had a lot of Halloween mugs. If you need a Halloween mug and you have a standalone TJ's, you will have an easy time finding one. Good morning, ghouls and ghosties. So it is now August 4th, and I am, before heading to the gym today, heading to my local HomeGoods and local Marshalls. When I went to my local HomeGoods last, which I think was just earlier in the week, like Monday or maybe Tuesday, the manager saw me, and she clearly recognizes me at this point because I'm there like every day. She told me that last week they really didn't get much truck in at all. So if I didn't notice like many changes, many differences, that would be why. But this week they were set to get 2 very large trucks in. Big shipments of a lot of stuff. So I am quite excited. It's Friday. I would assume that both of the days have passed that they get truck in. I think she had said that the day I was there, they got one of them, and maybe the second one was on Thursday, so yesterday. So I would hope and assume that a lot of the stuff is actually out on the floor already. Pretty excited to see what there is. And then I'm just going to Marshall's because it's right next door, and why not? I'm pretty pumped, and we are gonna go see what we can find. Otherwise, for today, I think that's probably all the haunt hunting that I'm doing, possibly. This is actually the day that haunt hunting number 4 is supposed to go up. So I am gonna park and go into HomeGoods and bring you guys with me. Wish me some luck. Wish me some spooky ooky kooky luck. I'm excited. Entering into HomeGoods, there were some very large spooky pieces, and there were 2 giant metal skeletons holding giant metal bowls. They'd be great for handing out candy if you weren't going to be home. They also had some new Disney pieces and some new mugs that I hadn't seen yet. HomeGoods had a couple new kitchen pieces, little canisters with jack-o'-lanterns on them, and some more of those cats, like the witchy cat we had seen before, and some plates that I'd been looking for, but we'll talk about that later. This was a really cute ghost canister, I thought. They had added, I feel like, some more of those books and this giant yoga skeleton. Great for a spooky yoga studio. This was a new piece for sure, Mr. and Mrs. Bones' grave. I think the candles actually light up in the front. They also did have some more shiny bright pieces. They had made an entire display of the drinkware, which I so appreciate because this is some of my favorite stuff to pick up. The ghost wine glass was at this HomeGoods, kind of like the TJ's we just seen. This ghost little cup was new too, and this black tinted snake glass was new. A lot of kind of larger pieces, I feel like. And these kind of folk looking wooden pieces. It was this black cat. It was $8. I really liked it, but I didn't like how they put boo on his forehead. This black crow sign I also think was something new. This stack of jack-o'-lanterns was really adorable, and this was another piece of that folk-looking stuff. There was a new blanket that said Monster Mash and had mummies and skeletons on it. It was Ray Dunn. I loved this. They had this Grim Reaper holding candlestick stands. I didn't really like how they're like kicking their legs out and stuff. Otherwise, I would have really liked this. I just didn't like their poses. A new cookie sheet with some cookie cutters and a lot more rubber bakeware and molds. Some other new spooky baking pieces like this little coffin. And a mixing bowl that was more pastel goth, along with some other spooky baking dishes. They had a few new kitchen linens, like this vintage looking orange and black. Which one? I really liked the look of this one. Isaac Mizrahi has made a lot of the really good ones this year. This was a little candle holding, meditating skeleton that was really cool. In the checkout line, they had some Rae Dunn soaps, and they also had some more mugs. Then we moved on to the Marshalls next door. At Marshalls, they had this really cute pillow of a ghost hiding between a bunch of dogs. And they had some wine stoppers, and I wanted this ghost one so bad, but his arm is broken, just like my heart. They had a handful of new pieces out. They must have got truck in the same day as the HomeGoods, which would make a lot of sense. They had a bunch of Headless Horsemen in a couple different colors. They had some really cool crow and frog pieces. These were some interesting coming out of the ground hands. They were like zombie but also skeleton. And then they had the return of the ghost rug. On the other side of the aisle, they had some other new pieces like this witch holding a raven, some cat pieces, and the pumpkin bat that I know a lot of people are a big fan of. Alright, ghouls and ghosties, it is August 5th right now, and HomeGoods, this is Grand Central Station HomeGoods, they opened about 20 to 25 minutes ago, and I just thought that we would check today because we have Ryan's parents visiting from Iowa, so this might be all I can do today, so why not? At the front, HomeGoods had some new branch trees and some moss skulls that I definitely had not seen before. They had a few new ghost pieces too, like this sign and these other ceramic ones. This was kind of an interesting planter, very basic looking, almost looked like Jack Skellington. These were some new cauldrons, I believe. And this was kind of a cool new little haunted house figure. I like the style of this moon piece. It was pretty cool. And these wooden ghosts I think were new too. They had a bunch more wine pieces, like a snake electric wine opener and a cobra manual wine opener and a skull manual wine opener, along with more wine stoppers. This was new, a football jack-o'-lantern. If you liked football, this would be quite cute, I must say. They had some little cocktail pokers, which actually looked just like ones Target had last year, and the award for the most uncomfortable decoration piece all year goes to this weird skeleton with a cigar laying on his back. Take it away from me now. They had some new bathroom towels that were peanuts. I liked little Scarecrow Snoopy. Hello, ghouls and ghosties, and welcome to the 6th of August. It is a Sunday today, and Ryan's family actually just took back off for Iowa, so I am now doing some haunt hunting. Surprise, surprise. I have not really planned out where I'm going today in any way, shape, or form. I only know for sure that I'm gonna go to Joann's, and the only reason I'm going to is just because like it's been a really long time since I did go to Joann Fabrics, and again, at one point I saw someone make a post on one of the Facebook groups showing like these pillows that had the antique vintage looking pumpkins on them, and I think there was maybe another one that was very like vintagey looking, and I really want them. I haven't seen them since, but also people haven't really been posting Joann Fabrics pictures lately because I think everyone's Joann Fabrics has Halloween. Like there's not much new to see. So I'm gonna check. We're gonna see. Last time I went they didn't have them. I don't know if that's actually supposed to be part of like a later in the season collection, and this other store that someone posted just seemed to have them early. I don't really know, but I do want to check. It'll be nice to go just because it's been so long. I would probably also like to check at home, possibly, because once again, it's been a little while since I went there, and they seem to just be amping up getting in like all the different collections collections and all the different pieces. August is always usually the big boom of Halloween, in my opinion. September is the stores that are really late, and July is the stores that are early. August is like the perfect time where everyone really starts to get stuff in. I would love if Home Depot had their stuff out, but I know that that's actually supposed to be the end of August, so that will probably be like the last August hunt that we'll finally see Home Depot, I'm thinking. I really want the bat skeletons still, and I've seen online that some people's Home Depots are selling them early, but most Home Depots are not, and they do not want to be asked about it, so I'm not going to. I'm not even gonna check. I have a feeling the bat skeleton, though he'll probably sell out pretty quick, I don't think it's gonna be like impossible to find them, because I'm sure a lot of stores are gonna get like a lot of them in, and we do have quite a few Home Depots around. I could totally be jinxing myself, but I'm assuming it won't be too hard. I don't know. I hope not. We're kind of just gonna go wherever we feel like going. I don't have a ton planned, like I said. At home, maybe. Joann, for sure. That's where I'm headed now. I'd love to go to HomeGoods and stuff. They've really been amping up, putting out their things. I just don't want to go to the ones that I like just went to in the past like day or two, which actually my local one has been like a whole 48 hours now. So like I could maybe go check there. We will see where we ook, spook, creep, and crawl to today. But I'm going to show you guys any place I go to. And I'm pretty excited. We don't have too many plans this afternoon, so I can kind of just do what I want, and I am excited. So I hope you guys are excited too. Let's go hunting. We are ready, have some little changing plans. We are actually gonna stop at Burlington first. I have not stopped at a Burlington yet this season. I think the Burlington Ghost is back, the one that was like so iconic and so popular last year. But I did get 2 of them last year, so I have enough for my display, but we'll see if we see one, I guess. Otherwise, I don't know what they're gonna have. Maybe they'll have nothing. Maybe they'll have something. Let's go look. In the miscellaneous thrown everywhere section, that is the front section at Burlington, I did spot this Hocus Pocus Disney mug and these Nightmare Before Christmas slides. There were a couple other mugs too, but this section was so messy, it was honestly hard to find the stuff. There was also these lanterns that I thought were kind of cool. They remind me of something that I think, weirdly enough, Walgreens has had in the past. There was this witch's supplies chest that I suppose you could kind of put whatever in. It was made of cardboard, kind of like the Joann Fabrics boxes. There were a few different patterns. They also did have a lot of spooky blankets. Their spooky blankets are not as cool as the HomeGoods ones. Once again, they just aren't as good quality, and a lot of them have weird like glitter and metallic pieces to them that would make them very uncomfortable in my opinion. But they did have a lot, so if you need one after HomeGoods sells out or something, they definitely would probably have some. This one was definitely my favorite. I liked the kind of sketched look of the skeleton and the jack-o'-lanterns. In the mugs, they had a couple, but they were pretty basic. They looked like something you'd maybe find at like Walmart, or sometimes Target has a ghost that looks like that. And then their bathroom section had some soap containers. They actually had quite a lot of these as well, in a lot of different shapes. They had a haunted house, a ghost, and a couple jack-o'-lanterns. This store also had some shower curtains, which I do appreciate. I feel like I have not really seen any shower curtains much anywhere else yet this year, where HomeGoods usually has a lot. But I've been checking every one I go to, and I think only 1 or 2 have had shower curtains, and they might have been TJ Maxx actually. We moved on to Joann's, which is luckily right around the corner from Burlington, and they had moved a lot of their Halloween pieces up to the front. I love that they put a little skelly up on the top like that. For the most part, right away, I was just seeing a lot of the same things that we had seen the past few times we had come in. This seemed like a new piece. It was like a moving broom, I guess, but you couldn't try it in store, so I don't really know how it moved, if it just kind of like did a sweeping motion. Also, when you scan the QR code, it still didn't show you how it moved. All right, next up, we are at a TJ Maxx. This is the only standalone TJ Maxx that I know of in my area. So we've been here a couple times this year. This is the place that had these singing Halloween lights, if you remember that. I don't know what else distinguishes this place, but I've only been here, I think, twice this year so far, so we are gonna go in there. We got a HomeGoods to hit. We got a Marshalls to hit. I am actually kind of in the area of the Pottery Barn, so I might go back into Pottery Barn. I would love to see their terracotta jack-o'-lanterns in person. We also could still go to At Home on the way home, possibly. At Home is like up in the air. I'm not promising At Home. That's a maybe. I don't know. It might not be worth going out of my way to. I'd rather go to like more places in this area than go to At Home. So we will see. I might even stop at my own local HomeGoods on the way home. I don't know. So let's go into, I almost said Trader Joe's. Let's go to TJ Maxx. This TJ Maxx also had a ton of spooky jewelry. They were so adorable. They had plushy dogs, plushy mummies, plushy skeletons, and one of the candy canisters. This was kind of a pastel goth one because it was this lavender color. Very cute, not my style, of course. More headless horsemen, so I could have like 90 of them at this point, I feel like. This was a really cool wicker bat basket, and same with this skull one. They had a lot of witch resin statues. It was like this trio of witches, and one set they were just standing next to each other holding hands, and then in another one they were kind of like leading each other around. They had a lot of kitchen pieces as well, mainly mugs and wine glasses, which is as to be expected at a TJ Maxx. There was a little Frenchie mug, kind of like that Frenchie blanket we'd seen. You could have a whole Frenchie set. I love it. This mug was pretty cool, just like a very basic pumpkin one, but it'd make a good classic mug. They had the Dangool one again. They had some Jack Skellington plates that I don't think I had seen before, and they also had another pretty classic jack-o'-lantern mug that I liked. In the containers, they had some dancing skeleton Tupperware. And in the other mug section, they had this Frank and Bride set that I think a lot of people online like. They had some freaking Joanna Parker. What a Halloween. They were all kitchen towels. I didn't find anything else by her, but of course, I loved all of them. My favorite was definitely this owl one. So cute. I love the all-over print. They had this witch one too. And then in the way back, they also had this black ghost one. On to the HomeGoods in this city. They had this really tall, really expensive witch. I think she's by some kind of artist named Catherine's Collection. I don't know much about her, but it was expensive. This was a new spider bowl. It's wicker and metal. And they had some new salt and pepper shakers I don't think I'd seen. This was one of those taller mugs after I had just said I didn't think HomeGoods carried tall mugs like that. And a lot of these skeleton canisters and skeleton cookie jars and stuff. I thought I saw another Ray Dunn piece, and sure enough it was. They had this mug I don't think I'd seen of a skeleton witch with a cat on a broom, and a haunted house cookie jar that I really liked. HomeGoods had some containers of their own, and they also had some more bake pieces we hadn't seen, like this Brie witch one. Here was a Spoon Rest and Snoopy Ray Dunn set, and a Snoopy Ray Dunn baking pan. There were a few tumblers that I hadn't seen before too. Okay, ghouls and ghosties, so I did decide to stop at Pottery Barn just because. They've told me that their trucks come in on Wednesdays. I think it's at least been 1 or 2 Wednesdays since we were here and saw some things. So let's pop in and see what we can see. I'm happy I stopped because there was definitely some new pieces since we last stopped here, including the skeleton hand shaker and skeleton hand whiskey or liqueur container. I've been wanting this shaker, but HomeGoods does have their own version. They had 2 of the terracotta jack-o'-lanterns. This is another thing that I want to see in person. I would not buy this for $50. I would love to see the gray black ones in person though. I've never also seen this ghost plushie pillow in person. I would say the HomeGoods knockoff of him is good enough. So then we moved on to the Marshalls that is in this town. In Marshalls, they had this Jack Skellington fleece onesie that was so soft. They had quite a few skull and snow globe pieces and a golden headless horseman. This may get the award for the weirdest Halloween decor piece all year. This is a UFO alien skeleton. Like, what? But also I love it. They had more headless horsemen over in the normal aisle. These were the other ones that light up. These big head bowl guys I don't think we'd seen before, and this skull charcuterie board we had not seen yet this year. They had a rug that was gray with ghosts all over it, and then an outdoor mat with some pumpkins that was a bit more fall. And for my final trick, I'm going to HomeGoods closest to my house, and I'm also going to the Marshalls that's right next door. Mainly because I actually do have to go to Target. I feel like that's like one of the reasons that I end up at these 2. Then again, sometimes I just come here to come here. But yeah, I'm gonna go to HomeGoods, I'm gonna go to Marshalls. There probably won't be a ton of clips from these 2 because these are definitely the 2 that I obviously have went to the most. I will still show you guys if I see something new, so let's pop in there. I decided to start at HomeGoods so I could work my way down to Target, and inside of HomeGoods, right off the bat, right by the giant bowl skeletons, they had this new planter cauldron. Ignore the gnome, but there was this new spider candle holder. There was a new little Frenchie coming out of a tree bag that was so cute. A new cat with a sweater, these skeleton hand candlesticks, a skeleton working on a spooky laptop. He kind of looked like an alien. A lot of new resin cats in sweaters, actually. This stack of dogs in sweaters, I don't know what the deal is. There was this new Ouija-looking pie pan. I'm not like the hugest fan of Ouija-looking stuff, so I passed on it, but I did like it. In the kitchen section, they had this new cracked skull mug, a mummy mug that I thought was pretty cute, this more fall Pottery Barn looking pumpkin mug. They also had this skull cake stand and some more salt and pepper shakers we hadn't seen, along with some little baking dishes with a witch flying on a broom on them and a cemetery on the outside. If the inside art was better, I would have got this. At Marshall's, they had quite a lot of stuff in that same section that we checked last time. A lot of it was kind of laying around because I was kind of at the end of a day here, so I assume people had shopped and kind of thrown things all over the place. And at Target, they actually had some spooky socks. I was surprised. Well, ghouls and ghosties, it is a Monday, and I just got done working all day long, and I am stopping on a HomeGoods on the way home. Let's see what we can find. This HomeGoods also had the skeleton with a bowl, but they also had this giant archway gate. Oh my gosh, this thing is so cool. I'm obsessed with it, and it was only $200. Why does that seem like not that much to ask for something like this? In the normal section, they had added a headless horseman. Someone needs to go through and count how many I could have got at this point. They also had these little mini Happy Halloween candles. This was a new plushie I hadn't seen, a sickly looking green ghost. In this main Halloween section, they had a few new things like this silver skull with a candle inside. They also had the haunted house cookie jar. This HomeGoods location had this spiderweb bowl sitting on top of the charcuterie spinning Lazy Susan that I got last year. A couple mugs that I think we've seen before, some bakeware and glasses we've seen before, and then this really cool wine skeleton sign. This would be so cool at the bar. This seemed like a different version of the cake stand with the crow on top that I got. There was no bottom to it. And they actually had a bar version of the skeleton holding a sign. Alright, ghouls and ghosties, so now you have made it to the end of Haunt Hunt number 5. I hope you guys enjoyed it and all the new places that we went this week. Next week is going to be another Haunt Hunt, and it's going to be following me along as I go up north to my cabin for vacation. There are going to be a bunch of HomeGoods and TJ Maxx and Marshalls that we have not been to yet this year that we're going to hit on the way up. So I'm very excited to bring you guys along there. We had a lot of luck last year when I did that in July. It's a little later in the year, so I'm interested to see how that goes, but I think we'll have some good success. And then the week after that, we're going to be doing Halloween 2, the second haul of Halloween decor on this channel, which I have a lot. I have so much. I hope you guys are looking forward to that. I hope you enjoyed this Haunt Hunt. As per usual, let me know, and let me know what really cool things you have been finding recently below, and I will see you guys next week. Goodbye.